flexing. Flex, the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Oh, it's time to bleed. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Come on in, smash the like button. Like the video, hype the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us. We don't need him. Let's do this roll call because I want to be as efficient and timely as possible. My brother Mac of the South, salute. Michael Fleming, my brother, salute. Columbia, how are you? Rod Neal in the building. Derek Gaines, the legend. Eric Jordan, Geo James, Bronx on deck. Ern Jordan, Robert Singleton, Aaron Wall Willis, Rick Blackwell. Salute, salute, salute. Y'all come on in. Jonathan Thompson, salute. Come on in. Eric O, what's going on? Let's do it. And suddenly, I want TKO to win. And this is tough because a win for TKO is an overall loss for the unborn. And when I say unborn, I mean right now in any gym USA, there's a young man or a young woman who's what I like to say they're next up. Noah, what up? Stormy in the building. They're next up. They're the next GOAT. There's always, the great thing about records is that they're made to be broken. So there's somebody, there's some young man or young lady. They're probably in your city right now. They're probably your neighbor. You know, they're somewhere. And this one change might alter everything. But this change, I like to tell y'all, and you hear me say this often, this Riyadh season and the threat of Dana White and TKO, this is definitely a self-inflicted wound. It's a self-inflicted wound. And I gave this a lot of thought. I did a live stream last year, and it's a picture of me over the city of Pompeii, and it's on fire. I don't know the entire, well, I've heard some stories about Pompeii and things of that nature. You know, Rome, but the idea behind Rome burning and Pompeii falling was that as great of a city, this is the story I was told, and you know, just follow me on this, whether it's true or not. They said those cities were like one of the greatest cities, and you can get anything and everything you wanted from there. And it sounds good on the outside, but on the inside, it was too free. And there were people in power, let's just say, diddying it up. I own this place. I run this place. I'm in a position of power. I could do anything and everything I want. I could eat all I want. Gluttony, which is a sin. If there's somebody I don't like for whatever reason, jealousy, which is sin, I could just get them out of there. Murder, which is a sin. You know what I mean? And by the way, jealousy is a female trait. Unique Dawn, salute, Queen. I appreciate that information you shared with me. Jealousy is a female trait. Y'all remember Pep Talk? When I said, I was asking the question, can women really coexist as friends? Are they really frenemies? I went through a point in my life where every woman I talked to, you know, I wanted convos with Cam, salute, Queen. Eric Myers, salute. I went to a point where, you know, to know a woman is to know who her circle was. And a lot of women that I was getting to know back then, they would say, hey, man, I don't keep a lot of women around me. Philip D, my brother. They say, I don't keep a lot of women around me. I say, well, why is that so? And they all said the same thing. Because women are backstabbers and cheaters, and they'll try and do this to your man. I'm like, whoa. They talk about these girls' trips. What happened? MXC, what up? What happened on these girls' trips? A lot of friendships break up on those girls' trips. Hell, how many videos you seen online? Phenomenal Mexican, salute. How many videos you see online where everyone's cool and they in a restaurant eating and then that bill come? Or I only got the breadsticks and a glass of water, so my contribution is $11.99. The bill be like $1,500. And everyone that ate some seafood. Well, I only got 20. Well, I thought you was paying. And everybody, and next you know, it's a dine and dash. And all those chicks are like linebackers. Egalitarian, salute. They all go home and they start talking about one another. To who? Their boyfriend. Or each other. Bone Quisha ate a whole lobster. By herself. She should have been paying $500. Yeah, Phenomenal Mexican. Yeah, Shorty went to Mexico with her friends, and the two dudes that were there, they were pillow biters. Killed her, beat her to death. Remember that? So when I say jealousy is a female trait, I say that for a reason. These are things that I've seen. Jose, my brother, what up? These are things that I've seen. So when I see men behaving like that, all these things on YouTube, jealousy is a female trait. Grown-ass men shouldn't act like that. Grown-ass men shouldn't act like that at all. But I don't want to get too far away from the point. When I did that live last year, because I just had to watch a little bit of it a couple of days ago, I said, yo, I said this. Boxing is so messed up that maybe it needs to die so it can resurrect somehow. Maybe you need to feel it to understand, hey, man, you know, and you know, you notice that there's a lot of boxing content creators that don't take accountability for contributing to the dysfunction. Do you notice that? Whatever fighter that they're promoting, or just, it's not even promoting at this point. It's just de-licking. And it's a sad state of affairs. They will never understand that they contributed to a joint effort in destroying the sport of boxing. How often do you hear me talk about quantity versus quality? I'll give you an example of that. Everybody here, for the most part, ATX salute, is familiar with Keho. The yellow Arab-looking insecure midget that is a glorified Tank Davis slurper. Y'all are very familiar with his work. And I was just peaceful with him because at one point he was close to my brother BF. But I was very clear. I said, that's your man. That's not my man. And I stayed out the way. And the inevitable happened. The inevitable. The inevitable. What did I say about jealousy being a female's trait? His arguments are just complete crying. They're driven by emotion. Facts don't matter to him. I've heard his debates. He's easy. It's word salad, but he's easy. When you know the facts, it's easy. And keep it simple. But quality versus quantity. Dude got like 20,000, 30,000 subs or something like that. Last I saw, I don't like saying last I checked because I don't check on that guy. It's just something you notice. What do you think his supporters consist of? Wonder how easy he is? I'll tell you. He got upset with me and made a short video. I don't know. Somebody sent it to me. I don't need to respond to if I made it a rule that I don't need to respond to people shorter than me, I guess I won't be talking to anybody. But whatever, man. He came into the comment section of my live. Like, this is like early last year. And, he was, defending Mellow Yellow as usual. And TZ Frank, salute. And he said something. And then he said, I bet you won't drop that link, though. I said, I bet you're right. I bet you're right. What the fuck? I'm not going to talk. I know what you do. I'm not going to talk in circles with you. And besides, I got to end my live at a certain time because I have a day job where I make my real money. But why would I want to talk in circles with you? For what? I'm not going to get anywhere. For what? My opinion is based off the facts. And the bottom line is your face of boxing is not doing what I require him to do as a professional boxer. What are we talking about here? That's all I said to him. And at that time, he was wrenched up and everything. And here's what pissed him off. And I said, man, look, man, nobody cares about anything you have to say in reference to boxing unless you're defending Mellow Yellow. That's it. That's it. So you can be in the chat, in your feelings of what I'm saying, but what do I say about any fight I'm talking about? Stop me when I'm lying. That's all. There was no malice. Nothing. Right? Stillwater, salute. Well, later that day, he makes a little short video, and he's challenging me to a debate. Dude, you know what type of debates I was used to doing? I was debating perps, and based off of what they said to me, it was either prison or you're walking free. So trust me. Trust me. K-Rod, salute. Trust me. I'm not that guy you want to even have a conversation with. Because it's very simple. In reference to that, Mellow Yellow, it's very simple. I keep it, that's why I tell y'all, I keep it simple here. I keep it very simple. But niggas like that have muddied the waters. Copper, what up? So, a couple of days later, I'm watching, what's his name? Oh, God. Oh, man. What's his name? Well, I'm having a brain fart right now. Blue Bloods man. I'm sorry. I'm having, it's still early, y'all. But, damn, that shit bothered me. I can't think of his name right now. But I'm watching him. Claymore, thank you. Claymore Rain. So I'm watching him. And just randomly, he came up on the feed because I'm subscribed to him and I'm watching the show. I go in there and smash the like button, whatever, support. And I'm just listening to him, and I'll never forget it. I was washing dishes, right? And I just had him playing on my phone. And he says, man, I got to salute KO. And listen, everybody is not going to be cool for whatever reason. I've made peace with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might frequent another channel that I don't deal with, but that's my issue. That's not yours. That's why I tell people, I don't tell y'all where to go. My issue is my issue, and I don't spill that on y'all. I just draw the line where the person I have a problem with got personal with me. But I don't want to get into that. But Claymore was saying, I got to salute KO because he says some real shit. And my antennas with him. I said, well, what did he say? And he says, I was watching them the other night. And somebody got in his comment section, NBA D Nice, salute. And he said, you always talking about Tank. And KO's response to the person in his comment section was, yo, when I talk about boxing, y'all don't be giving a fuck about anything else. So I'm gonna talk about what's hot. Go! Son of a bitch. But dial it back, because literally a day prior, or was it maybe 2 days prior, the nigga was in my chat. And when I told him that on my live, I said, look, no one cares about your boxing opinion. Only when you're out here defending Tank. I said that. Then he's talking about drop the link. For what? Literally 2 days later, he's talking about Tank, and someone got in his comment section and said the same thing. And he told them what I told him. That's a true story. What do I always say, y'all? Time reveals all truth. And a lie is nothing but the long way to the truth. Sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. That shit happened. I said, oh man, look at that. I've heard his debates. He's an insecure midget. I remember when he was on there on BFTB's thing, supposedly having some debate. And my brother Red didn't understand the format. That's what happened. He didn't understand the format. He didn't understand what it was. Village Brother, salute. He didn't understand what it was. So he was unprepared. But I was listening to KO say things like, oh, well, you know, y'all don't really fuck with me. Wait, hold on. Stop right there. What grown man says that out loud? It sounded like he had a gripe. I do talk about, because it was like, oh, well, you only talk about Tank. Oh, no, I do picks during the week, and that's how I know y'all don't really be fucking with me. Whoa, you sound upset about that. You sound upset about that. What do you mean no one really fucks with you? At that time, everyone did. You might not see us. I told him when he was in the chat. I said, yo, my man, I go to your channel because I'm subscribed with the bell icon. And when I see Bill Haney's face plastered, I barely even read the title because I know it's some bullshit. But out of support, I hit the like button and I leave, because at that point, I don't care what you have to say. But I'm still supporting you. I said that to him. That's what I said. But when you're angry and you're short and you're light skinned and the white part of you starts to manifest, you're angry. I use that term insecure a whole lot. His channel's mad bigger than mine. What are you mad at? Because we don't conform and agree with you over mellow yellow? Nah. Go on and do the damn thing. Do you know his whole channel is one giant crash out? I mean, think about it. He crashed out on Blue. That didn't help. He crashed out on Champ's side. Bro, what was that? I was in the gym listening like, whoa, what is he doing? I stopped my workout for 5 minutes. I'm reading the chat. I'm like, what is this dude doing? I really thought he was having a nervous breakdown. I'm like, what do you, forget what are you defending? Who are you defending? Look at who you're defending. Mitchell Show, salute. Look at who you're defending. Then the next question is, why are you defending? Look, man, you can like Tank all you want. But wait a minute, man. Dial it back. All we ever wanted him to do was to prove he was that dude. Because at once upon a time, it was, I don't know, he might be able to beat Devin. Let's see it. I don't know. He might be able to beat Shakur. Let's see it. I don't know. Here's me now. I want him to beat Loma. I want him to. Just like I was in here screaming at the top of my lungs when he dropped Ryan Garcia. I wanted that for him. And all I wanted was for the 3 kings, because it wasn't 4. The 3. To get it on and pop it. I didn't even include Loma in that. I said Shakur beat Loma, Tank beat Loma, Devin beat Loma. Because Tio already beat Loma. So to me, it was Tank, Shakur, and Devin at 35. Because Tio started acting funky. I said, you know what? Freeze him out. Fuck the belts. The money's right here. Let the 3 black kings get it. That's all I said. And the A side had more excuses for not fighting his contemporaries, and I got annoyed with him. Now, chat, have I lied so far on this whole situation? I'm not lying. This is why I got annoyed. I'm telling y'all how I got here. And believe it or not, the Tank Davis shit, that whole thing, that was the icing on the cake. Because prior to that, it was what? The AJ and Wilder shit. And I'm like, what is going on? Prior to that, it was Gennady Golovkin being compared to Marvin Hagler. Lomachenko being the best thing that the Barbarians ever seen since Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So we're going on almost literally 20 years of foolishness. And this Tank Davis thing, to you Johnny-come-latelys, I've had it up to here, and I'm like, you know what? No. But the new boxing fans, they've been conditioned to say, this fight's not happening because it's not ready yet. Let it marinate. Just silly shit like that. Let it marinate. What? Why y'all talking like I have money invested into this? You have no money invested into this. You don't know the fighter, but why are you talking like that? You want it now. Right now. And right now as we speak, I'm going to talk about this Monday. Y'all see Oscar De La Hoya? Did y'all know Oscar De La Hoya just formed this union with Al Heyman? Y'all know about that? Y'all know about that? I just learned about it last night. The general's in the building. Salute. John Pound, salute. Y'all learned about that? I just learned about that last night. Shout out to Aki TV. I was like, what the fuck? What? What is this? And what is he on there talking about in his video? The Muhammad Ali Act. Listen, Oscar De La Hoya is talking about the Muhammad Ali Act. Meanwhile, he's blocking Ortiz and Boots Ennis. Exactly, General. Exactly. Welcome, Dan Van Harder. Salute, man. If y'all don't know, this brother right here just fought. This brother right here just fought. He's a pro fighter. Y'all press his name. Y'all click on the name. Y'all go follow him. All right. He just fought. I like watching the young guns rise to prominence by putting in work. Feel me? So y'all take a minute, click on his name, and let's follow this young king through his career in his infancy. You know what I mean? Salute to you, brother. I'm going to get you on the show soon. I'm going to get you on the show real soon. Matter of fact, you see my email down there. Hit me on the email. Hit me on the email. Let me wrench him up. Oh, okay. Your son. Okay. That's your, okay. I'll get both you guys on. Get both you guys on. Another father and son duo. We love it. I love it. That's right. Millisecond salute. Y'all take a moment to subscribe to the Young King. And let's support. I like what I see. Good height, good reach. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Black Martial Arts Society, salute. Absolutely. I appreciate you, good brother. Absolutely. So, Oscar is now, after suing Al Heyman for breaking the Muhammad Ali Act, now all of a sudden he's in a joint business venture with him. And now I'm looking at Al Heyman like, bro, what are you doing? But nothing is shocking, because after Wilder Fury 2, I come home already confused and annoyed and turn on the TV and I see Larry Merchant sitting on there talking about bye-bye Miss American Pie. Is this the last we've seen, in no offense, of the great Black Hope? Are you kidding me, Al? I knew there was something strange going on. And you know, that's another thing. Yo, look, man. I'm sorry to tell you, I think we have more situation awareness, and we're more loyal to our community than a lot of these fighters. I'm gonna do another live about that. I've always been pro-Black. I have. But I'm looking at these kids and I ask them, yo, who the hell raises them? These kids literally are born yesterday, and they'll tell you it's not about race until something slaps them in the face. Y'all remember when the Instagram you remember the Instagram interview, the PBC and Deontay leading up to Tyson Fury 3? And Jamel Charlo got in the goddamn chat. It ain't about race, skills pay the bills. And everyone got on him like, yo, what the hell are you talking about? And then when Deontay starts talking about his melanin skin, they interrupted the live. Y'all remember that? That famous audio of Champ Size saying, wow, they cut him off. Remember that? That's what that was. If you don't know, that's what that was. And man, turns right around that same year, comes to my city in New York and had some trouble in some sort of random gym, and they were thrown out, and they're in the car screaming about racism after telling us it doesn't exist. Bernard, what up? See what I mean? Everybody gets their nigga wake-up call. You see? Sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. So now, you know, you don't reserve the right to say anything about race. I'll give you another example. I went back and forth with Quentin Rampage Jackson on the DMs. And I know by the time I got to him, people done gave him the business already, so he didn't know who's coming as friend or foe. I was just putting a bug in his ear as a brother, but he jumped on me. Oh, you being a bitch? I said, no, I ain't gonna play that game with you. But I just started dropping links in his DM. Yeah, this is Ryan Garcia. I started giving him screenshots. I said, yeah, you go look this up. This is what he said about Black people, about Muslims and everything. So, you know, you could scream and cuss. Well, not screaming because he's typing. I said, you can cuss at me and be mad at me, but I'm giving you the facts and I'm explaining why people are getting on you, because, you know, you're supposed to know this. You said, I love Ryan Garcia. Never root against him. And Devin Haney's a bitch for suing. You don't sue for losing. So you didn't even know what the lawsuit's about. And you didn't even know that Ryan Garcia said this. He said, well, for me to say that, that means I didn't know about it. I said, well, now you know. Have a good day, brother. And I stopped all contact. Talking about ain't no racism or nothing like that. A year later, look what happened with his son. Look what happened with his son. You know why I'm pointing that out? That wasn't racist, but he beat up on that white man and put him in a hospital, right? Right. Didn't he say he was the reason behind his treatment has something to do with race? Because somebody said something in particular. Somebody in particular said something about him. Yeah, it was Equinox Gym in the Village, bro. And by the way, thank you for saying that, Village brother. Guess what? I think that Equinox Gym in the Village, I just said the Village, brother. No pun intended to your name, but what do we know about the Village? It's the same, around the same place where AJ was shooting jump shots. And what did I tell you about that neighborhood? Come to find out. Now, I ain't say anything, but the Charles was down there. I think that's the one. I think. General says, of course, it's not about race to them. They jack off to Transformer vids and animation. These ninjas play a Fortnite for duty and beat up chicks and get away with it. Yeah. One of their ladies are involved friendships with a Transformer, and he beat them up, and it's a little loud. Man, when we was in Vegas, their wives got into a fist fight. After Caleb Plant slapped Jamal, we outside like, what the hell just happened? Something happened. And then we saw another crowd. We was like, what's going on over there? I said, you know what? I said, Blue, it's literally 101 degrees out here. I got to go inside of a casino with this AC. It's dangerous. By the time I got back to the hotel room, found out it was the Charlo's wives. What are you defending? You see what I'm saying? What are you defending? Dysfunction is dysfunction. Sometimes you just got to back up and say, "Well, you know what? No. This is nuts right here. I'm not dealing with this. This is crazy work right here." And just don't deal with it. But let me go back, because I'm making a point. Now, I know I got ops out here. Y'all going to run back and tell, oh, Drew was talking about, what else is new? So what? He talk about everybody. My point is this. He contributed to the dysfunction. He's probably contributing to it right now. My point is, when you defend fighters not doing what they're supposed to do, you have anarchy. There's no saying, oh, while this was happening, so-and-so slid through the back door. No. This don't apply here. During the anarchy, forget sliding through the back door, forget walking through the front door. That's something Jake Paul did. Jake Paul took advantage of the whole dysfunction of boxing and walked through the front door. He didn't rob anybody through the back door. He walked through the front door and made a withdrawal. But Turkey came in and knocked the whole bank over and built a new one across the street. And now you got Oscar De La Hoya and Al Heyman trying to form like Voltron. Hold on.
Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Voltron force.
Difference is they ain't gonna work. Nah, Philip D, they were fighting each other. I don't know what the hell was going on. 88, my brother, salute. Insane in the building. PGA, salute. I didn't know what was going on. It was 101 degrees outside. I said, I gotta get out this sun. I'm out. I left. I was turning colors out there. That was ridiculous. So, now they're merging. People that you thought were sworn enemies were merging. When you see that, it's a threat, and he's leading the charge by talking about they're violating the Muhammad Ali Act, and I'm going to start putting people on blast. Whatever the video is, I think he has on Instagram. Del Riv, salute. And I'm like, yo, how dare you, bro? Put a case out on yourself. You're literally stopping Boots versus Ortiz. He literally, on the video, I rock, salute. He literally said, Ortiz has so many other options. Abdul, what up? He has so many options. He could fight Fundora. Eddie Hearn is literally begging for a fight. Now, let me stop there for a minute. He's talking about Boots and Ortiz. Didn't I tell you motherfuckers that Boots had no business going in there working with Eddie Hearn? Tell me what fight that Eddie Hearn has secured for his product. Tell me. First of all, he's a horrible matchmaker. He got AJ beat how many times? All of that happened under his watch. TMJ, salute. All of that happened under his watch. Usyk twice. He wasn't able to secure the Wilder fight because he kept him away from him. What else? Andy was still hot. They thought he was a mark, but he was coming off of a fight. So he was still warmed up. Mr. Big Play, salute. I mean, this is real stuff. Didn't get the Fury fight, which is the funniest goddamn thing, because when they were really talking about it, when it was almost a reality, as fate would have it, he has a car accident, and now that he's considering retirement. And then they lied about it. Remember this? Look at the screen. Remember this? Remember I said, yo, who bought this? This was for sale. And I knew to screenshot this because if I brought it up today, I took this screenshot like 5 years ago. And I said, you know what? This is going to go away. But when I bring it to people's attention, people are going to act like they don't know what I'm talking about. And they're going to say that I made it up. There was a website where they were selling this when Fury lied and said that it's him versus AJ in Saudi. And this was the prices. I didn't make this up. This was on a real website. It may have been AJ versus TysonFury.com or something. I went to the site. I said, oh, my God. And I remember I kept calling Tay Jones like, yo, wait, hold on. What's going on? He said, man, don't listen to none of them niggas. We still in arbitration. I said, okay. Okay. Who bought this? Somebody has this in their house. This fight never happened. So when people talk about, oh, Bill be capping, you don't know about any of this? You ain't seen any of this? The Queen Convos with Kev. Salute to our Queen and go subscribe to her. Blessings to you always, Drew. Salute to you, Queen. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all go support the Queen, man. That's a soothing listen. And a lot of us need that, for real. She's great at what she does. Thank you. Eddie Hearn had a lot to do with that. That's my point. Exactly, Village Brother. I thought Al Heyman was sick. That's what I thought. But you know, people are liars. Bill be capping. Bill be capping. Bill's a criminal. Okay. Y'all know who Bob Arum is? Just research it. Research it. His place of business got invaded by the FBI. He was on the stand. He had to admit to fixing fights. What are we talking about here? Y'all know who Daniel Kinahan is? Where's MTK Global? But I could go on and on and on and on and on. But what happens is when the fighter you support is thriving in the chaos, you don't care about it. But I tell all of you fools, at a certain point, he's going to be victim of that chaos. And that's just what happened to Tank. He was flourishing in the chaos. He was riding that wave. And you know what happened? He fell out with Floyd. That's what happened. And I got another live next week. My brother 503 Line in the mix. Salute, bro. Houston. There's some shit going on with Camille Moulton and Floyd right now as we speak. Everything that Floyd touched dies. I'm saving that for next week. Everything is okay until it's not okay. And all I ever said was, forget about who your favorites are. We got to get right with the sport. And the first thing that we have to do is you have to have the best fight the best. If you're a title holder and you have a mandatory, fight the mandatory. Or if there's a unification opportunity, seize that opportunity. Seize the opportunity. But what happens is you have unconditional fans that love the sight and mystique of a fighter. They like seeing them work, but they are more comfortable in seeing them in there with people that he is going to talk up. When he signed to fight Hector Garcia, I'm talking about Tank now. I'm like, I don't want to see that. And he pulled him up from 130. I was like, I don't want to see that. And all of a sudden, everyone became experts on Hector Garcia and what he done, what he couldn't do, and this is a good fight. I said, stop. No, Tank's gonna knock this dude out, man. Stop. And y'all know that, and y'all wanted to see that. Yeah, Shamar, I'm saving that for next week. Something's going on with that too. If Floyd thinks you're gonna be better than him, he ain't gonna promote you. He did it to Tank. He did it to AB. Now AB's in Vegas randomly wanting to drink with people. I mean, it's disgusting. What Adrian Broner could have been and what he ended up. It's disgusting. Then Floyd gets around Devin Haney, wants to sign him. But he has a father in his life. So he took Tank Davis, which was sloppy seconds, made him duck Vasily Lomachenko, didn't fight any contemporaries, and he knew what he had in his product because he knows that Tank don't have no goddamn faith in himself. Drew, why you say that? Why the fuck did he call Zepeda, no, not Zepeda, Pedraza, a setup fight? Why did he call him? Why he say that? That turned out to be one of your career-defining fights. Tay-Tay, good morning. That turned out to be a career-defining fight. What do you needed that? You called it a setup? What? Forgot? How many fighters Floyd told to avoid Devin Haney? Y'all remember he got a hold of Ryan Garcia, but then Ryan changed his mind? Put a gold chain on his neck. He tried to get Ryan to fight Rolly. Remember that? That was probably late 2023 or 2024. But Ryan changed his mind. Then he gets with Ryan and says, come in overweight. But Bill be capping though, right? We boycotting Gucci, and he dropped $8,000 on Gucci like nothing and threw it in our face. Please don't talk to me about Floyd. You want to talk about his boxing career? I could talk about that, but as a person, no, he's the worst. And Camille Moulton, whoever's in charge of that I don't want to call him a YN. That young man, get him away from Floyd Mayweather. Get him away from him because he'll ruin him. He will ruin him. Get him away. Everything he touches turns sour. Tank Davis is a joke. He's an absolute joke, and he contributed to the chaos. He's a freaking crybaby. Riyadh season came into the business hitting hard. You got guys like Jai Opatai, and I think it was the IBF. They say, hey, man, you go over there and make that fight. We're going to take your belt. He said, man, take the belt. I'm going to go get this bread. Don't worry. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to get it back. And I'll be damned. That's just what he did, right? So the IBF is like, yo, we better play ball because these guys going to get their bread. Everybody's over there in tuxedos. And what the Tank do? He shamed like what, 50 fighters for going to do what? Challenge themselves. And what was the translation of Tank? What did he say? Y'all going over there to sell your O? Sell your O? No. Is that what Bivol and Better Biev did? That's what they did? They sold their O? Or did they challenge themselves? Did they accomplish something that the regular state of boxing couldn't do? They're on fight number 3. You couldn't even get on fight number 1 with Devin or Shakur. You can't get on fight number 2 with Lamont Roach. But you want fight number 2 with a guy you beat already with one hand. What are we talking about here? Now, did I lie? Just now, with what I just said, did I lie? No. But you see what happens is the perception. When the 22nd, because that's when YouTube pays us every 22nd of the month. When you got to secure that bag, you got to say a lot of things. You got to compromise your virtual butt cheeks. Quantity versus quality. K-Ho has a bigger platform. K-Ho, when he gets on his Tank justifications with his stupid ass hoodie on, talking to the side, fucking weirdo. He has a bunch of Mag 7s in his chat, and it's crazy. I've listened to it a couple of times to make sure I wasn't hearing things. Pinball salute. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't stay there for that. And this is back when I thought him and I were cool. I was like, what is he? Whoa, I just left. I listened to make sure. And I said, nope, he's not serious. But he believes his own bullshit. By the way, lie detectors, do you know a crazy person can pass a lie detector test? That's really why they're not submittable in court. You know that? If you sit a person down and strap them up and say, is your name such and such? Yes. Do you live at such and such? Yes. Yesterday at 3 p.m., did you really see a polka dot flying elephant outside? Yeah. And it did a loop-de-loop and it went up into the sun. You look down and says, yo, he's telling the truth. But the doctor's standing there like, he can't be. That nigga was locked up in that padded room with that straitjacket on. And at 3 p.m., he just stopped and stared in the middle of the room, just looked up into outer space. In his mind, he saw that. Vince, Jermaine, salute. In his mind, he saw that. So he's not lying. He believes his own bullshit. So he'll pass the lie detector test. Do you understand? I just broke it down as simple as I can. That's YouTube. This nigga really ran around and burnt bridges with people that really accepted him as a friend. Now, he'll hear me saying that, like, I don't need no friends, man. I make my own man. I'm my own man. All right, nigga. Fine. That's great. Look at the bridges you burnt, man. Blue Blood? BFTB? Me? The General? But I know you don't need us. That's cool. It's called social media to me. I ain't get on here to make enemies. I met a lot of people that live in states that I've never been in, and I've met them face to face, and they're good brothers and sisters to me. And I return the favor. I'm not going to crash out and burn a bridge over a little yellow nigga from Baltimore that A, is not a good person, and B, doesn't like me. Stop me when I'm lying. Damon, salute. Yeah, I try. I'm just being a dick about it. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. And when you have a person behaving like that, they're selling wolf tickets because they're concerned about the 22nd of the month. when we get paid. That's the first part. Second part, they're behaving like women. And what did I say earlier? Jealousy is a female trait. He's jealous of BFTB. I saw that. I think so, Jermaine. I got to look that up. I think so. I saw that, brothers and sisters. I saw that. I said, and I see something, but I mind my business. But these are the people that lead the charge, and they will never admit that they fucked up boxing. Because one of the things they were saying, and this is why I'm saying it's dangerous, when y'all say Tank Davis was the face of boxing, what did that mean? Was he moving like a champion? The answer is no. So if he's not moving like a champion, which means you're not getting the best quality of fights. He had all these contemporaries around him in the last 5 years. I'll put up the picture so y'all can look at it. There's no excuse for him not to have fought any of these guys at any point in time, especially the two on the lower right-hand side. From the middle, you got Lamont Roach. When he did fight him, he fought him to a draw, and he won't run that back. Ray Mortala, he's there with a belt. Abdullah Mason, he has a belt. Everybody else was active when he was live, and he hasn't done anything. And I left Sandor Martin off of here. And he couldn't do anything. And I think the easiest mark for him to look, he could have interjected between the Kambosos and Devin Haney thing. He could have threw himself in the middle of that and probably stole the spotlight and beat George Kambosos to death and took the belts. But you know what that would have meant, right? Devin Haney was still WBC champion. He'd had to see him anyway. You see that? That's why he didn't do it. Drew, that's a reach. No, it's not. Because he didn't even get involved in any of that. Because with great power comes great responsibility. Now, how the hell did Devin Haney come through 135 and snatch up everything and nobody wanted to fight him? Shakur ain't want no smoke, even when he was drained. Remember that? He's gonna be drained. Remember that? What's up? I know my worth. Okay, did you make your worth when you fought Edwin De Los Santos? Uh-oh. Signed a contract. Remember that? What happened? They say everything but fight. Drew, you're a Devin Haney dick rider. You can call me what you want. I love how that brother's moving. Because your favorite fighter, in comparison to Devin, is not doing anything. Dragon Fang, salute. He's not doing anything. And I know it makes you mad. Y'all say Devin ain't got no power and his style is boring and he runs. But we had Deontay Wilder a few years ago that didn't run from anything. He was undersized as far as weight. And he was knocking the shit out of everybody. And y'all ain't like that. We had Andre Ward around that same time. He won the Super 6. Beezy, what up? Oh, but the Super 6 was 1,000,000 years ago. Well, Gennady Golovkin's amateur career was 2,000,000 years ago. But let me tell y'all that, and y'all will find reasons to defend Gennady Golovkin. The media will tell you, oh man, he's on par with Marvin Hagler. Man, Gennady Golovkin isn't even as great as Bernard Hopkins. You know, Bernard Hopkins, he was undefeated at middleweight for how many years? And I never heard the media compare him to fucking Marvin Hagler. They waited till this dude come from Who Gives a Fuckistan over here, and they couldn't wait to put a crown on the head of that guy. And they legitimately hijacked Gennady Golovkin from us. I was just watching boxing. And then they started to move him around. While Abel Sanchez is telling us black fighters don't sell. Meanwhile, the black fighter he wanted to get in the ring was the #1 seller in the world. And that was Floyd Mayweather. But he wanted Floyd to come up from 47 to 160. Then he started talking about, well, we can meet at 54. But I thought black fighters don't sell, so you want to insult us and make money off of us. I was listening to my brother BFTB last night. He had that British dude on there. And it's the same old fucking story, man. You know, we don't have to answer to anybody, but even though we can. And I know why my brother gets enraged, and he's trying to get better. But I understand why he gets enraged. How dare you ask any of us where we get our information from? How dare you ask us prove what we're saying? And it's not like that dude didn't know who he was. You know, I often say, remember who I talked to. But just because I ain't got an article on one of these damn internet websites, World Boxing News, Boxing News 24 or whatever, just because I'm not, and those articles will be bullshit over there. Those guys are paid ops. You go to Boxing Scene right now, if there's not a name attached to it, it'll say Boxing Scene staff. That means they're saying some bullshit and they don't want to put it on anybody. But what they're doing is they're putting an idea out there to get you thinking. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. There's no answer. But it always leads to something negative towards a fighter that's looking to emerge and separate themselves from the rest of the pack. But if he's not marketable, they will cut them down. That's right, Jose. They're trying to plant evil seeds. That's right. And that dude yesterday, and I heard it, he basically said to BF, how do you know about these numbers? Because this dude was reciting the old talking points from Rick fat-ass racist cracker Glasser. Rick Glasser. He's the one that said, oh, Devin Haney only did 50,000 pay-per-views, #boxing. Shut up. He was 100,000 off. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. But he'll listen to him, though. Never mind that we have Bill on speed dial. He'll answer those questions in 2 seconds. But I know Bill you see what I'm saying? Bill be capping, right? But Dan Raphael never lied to you. Bill be capping, but you'll listen to Skip Brainless over all of us because he on TV. But that man's never lied to you. And it goes on and on and on. Y'all praise Tyson Fury, but then when I ask you, hey man, do you know that Tyson Fury can't come to America anymore? And you get a blank stare. And then we explain it, we're like, oh, that's irrelevant. Yeah, it is relevant. Because as black supporters, we got to go above and beyond. We have to go above and beyond to prove our points. In other words, they don't believe a word we're saying. We're just making shit up. In other words, we got to go above and beyond. We just make it up. We're black. Oh, we got a few pictures with them, but everything that we say, it can't be, can't be. It's emotionally driven like they're emotionally driven. They don't, it's like back with the AJ and Wilder thing. Deontay did everything. And the last straw was, he said, fine, I will come to the UK. Oh, we'll take the flat fee of 12 million. And he said, all right, fine, I'll take the 12 million. But in the rematch, you take the same thing. And that wasn't good enough. And at that point, D said, you know what, 50-50 or no fight. They heard that, though. Not the 50-50. They heard no fight. Oh, he's ducking. Oh, well, he ducked $100 million from DAZN. The information's online. DAZN had to apologize for not having their business in order. In other words, the 3-fight $100 million deal, the only thing Deontay wanted to know was AJ on the deal? Oh, well, no, we got these 3 fights and is AJ on the deal? Well, Deontay, we got these 3 fights. Is AJ on the deal? No. Goodbye. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to have our business in order. Watch this. Devin Haney's boring. Devin Haney ain't shit. Nobody wants to see that. Right now, Eddie Hearn wants to sign Devin. Right now. Devin Haney's boring. Meanwhile, is he not working with Shakur right now? How many times Shakur been on pay-per-view? Because when I watched him on ESPN, which is free TV, they showed people leaving the damn stadium. Okay? That's never happened to Devin. Okay? So when I asked Eddie Hearn, and then he said all of that about Devin, then I said, how does he compare to Shakur? Then all of a sudden he started tap dancing. You see what I mean? That wasn't a setup question. It was an obvious question. If you feel that way about Devin, who has a higher KO ratio, what are your thoughts about Shakur? And all he could bring up was the Zepeda fight. And then called Devin a genius. You see what I mean? But Devin ain't shit. Right? But you want to sign him now. And you literally put the kibosh on you on a unification. Now, let me double it back to Keho. The last clip I saw of this dumb nigga, he literally hoped that people did exactly this to Devin Haney. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Is that boxing? You tell me. Is that boxing? Tell me. Tell me. I mean, it's not like Devin Haney's Tyson Fury. I wish hell on Tyson Fury because I know what he represents. Daniel Kinahan, drug cheat, glove cheat. I wish hell on Tyson Fury. Now, why would another? Now, let me do the color thing. Why would another black man? See that light skin? That's that colonizer in his bloodline coming out. Why would that black man say that about Devin? And when you ask these niggas, what has Devin done wrong, man? They can't tell you. Right now, the hurdles that Devin had to literally jump over to get to where he is. Why? You, as a black content creator, because niggas like to, his fanatics have ended up on my panel at some point. Drew sound like a fucking engine that can't start properly. Drew, you black, right? Stuttering idiot. Hell yeah, I'm black. You black too, stupid. When all else fails, and Devin is literally in a position where he could pursue and accomplish greatness. And get this, he's not even in the weight class that your boy's campaigning at this point. Because now Tank is too small, right? Cool. He's at 147 now. This yellow knuckle dragging Arab looking nigga literally stood in this video and in a fit of rage said that he hopes pretty much, I don't remember word for word, but he pretty much hopes that all these obstacles remain in front of Devin and are successful. So basically, he rooted for his career demise. So he's justifying. He's justifying what Eddie Hearn is doing. And that's where the Arab jokes come at. When they say KO look like an Arab, it's not really an Arab. You know what they're calling him? A terrorist. 9/11 boxing style. You will ram your shit into a building killing innocent people to make a statement. And that's cowardly. Dude's not even in your division anymore that your boy campaigns at. Your boy is never going to fight him, and that will forever be justified. I've made peace with that your boy's a pussy. But to say that you hope happens to him, what Eddie Hearn's attempting to do right now, is exactly why suddenly I want TKO to win. Fuck the Muhammad Ali Act. Because that's recently a new argument for y'all. And guess where you got the argument from? Oscar De La Hoya. The guy that pulls large pieces of furniture out of his ass. That guy. Now you want to listen to him? That guy? Fishnets? That guy? Freezer full of hot dogs? That guy? Y'all wasn't thinking about the Muhammad Ali Act? Then here comes this guy with real money who's really a fan, and all he did was put people in position and trust them to run it, and he's going to fund it. The average business fails within 2 to 4 years. They're in the red. When you're dealing with Turkey al-Sheikh, he'll stretch the dollar. But he's going to spend money to crush the opposition. And what he did was he assimilated Matchroom, Queensberry. They kissed the ring. And what did we get in return? Let's talk about that. We got 2 fights with Usyk and Fury. He made Ngannou and Fury. And one of my favorite pay-per-views, although I didn't like the outcome with my brother Deontay, was that Queensberry versus Matchroom. But we're talking boxing. My brother lost fair and square. I ain't got no ill feelings toward Zilizan. He lost fair and square. But it was a great event, was it not? That's what we got. So when I hear you Tank fans talking about, kissing the ring, yo, listen, bro. What ring was bigger? What ring was more productive? Turkey al-Sheikh or Jake Paul's? Uh-oh. Go! Watch out. Watch out. Be careful. Be very careful. Anybody that's talking about how TKO was bad for boxing, just ask them what the Muhammad Ali Act is. And tell them it's an open book exam. Tell them they could Google it right now. I'll read it to you. The Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act is a 2000 U.S. federal law designed to protect professional boxers from exploitation by promoters, managers, and sanctioning bodies, mandated financial disclosures. Y'all know what that means? That means, pretty much in plain English, you have to tell the fighters how much money is flowing through everything. Preventing conflicts of interest, like promoters managing boxers. Y'all know about that? Y'all know there's a difference between the promoter and the manager, right? Before all of this, it was the Wild Wild West. You know what Barry Hearn told Dillian White? We used to be slave drivers. That's like the talent selling millions of records over a 20-year career, and it has nothing to show for it. He didn't save his money from the live shows. He only got 10 cents off of every album sold or every download, because that's what they do now. They download the albums for some money. And the most important part, you know what the most important part to that is? They don't own the publishing. Right now, Salt and Pepper was in litigation. Clay King, salute. They're in litigation for some music that they did, and I think they lost. I just saw that on the gram yesterday. These rappers didn't know about that. Some of these R&B, you know, imagine you have a classic song. Let's say the Temptations. I don't know the Freedom's March, salute. I don't know the extent of their business, but let's say every time you heard My Girl, was that the Temptations or the Four Tops? Forgive me, y'all. I'm sorry. But let's say that song, which is well over, that song was around before I was born. Steve L, salute. You've heard it in movies. You've heard it in commercials. Okay? And imagine all the original people on that track that should be eating off of that didn't own the publishing. Some bastard that did the paperwork, Trick Nolte, salute. Some bastard that did the paperwork. You're the artist. You done performed it for decades. Just Spark, my brother, salute. You performed it for decades. Now you're trying to will shit to your family because to this day in 2026, somebody's going to play it today on a radio somewhere. But every time it gets played, some 24-karat motherfucker whose grandfather owns the publishing, and now he willed it to your parents, and now their parents willed it to you, and now you're getting paid off of a Temptation song. And you like 30 years old. You didn't even know, you didn't even listen to that shit. And you look at your bank account, oh, they played My Girl today? $10,000. Yup. So when Barry Hearn told Dillian White, we used to be slave drivers, it's similar to that. Muhammad Ali didn't even own his name. Meanwhile, it's plastered on billboards, documentaries, it's on t-shirts. He didn't own it. Somebody else owned it. So the Muhammad Ali Act, it prohibits that. It protects the fighters. So the Muhammad Ali Act is a great thing. Empowering state commissions through recent legislative efforts like the proposed Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act by what's this guy, Brian Jack, Representative Brian Jack, aimed to modernize it with better fighter health insurance and new structures to address modern challenges, drawing support from figures like Mike Tyson, but facing debate from others. If you go to my page and put in Angel Man Freddy, and my brother Trick Nolte's in the chat, when I ended that live, I almost cried because I didn't know the Angel was that messed up. Salute to Angel Man Freddy. Sweet Reggie Johnson. I think in California, there's a pension involving boxers. And I believe Reggie Johnson told us that he was about, I forgot how many, he's a few rounds short of getting a pension. But Reggie's in his 60s. What's he going to do? Fight now? For a goddamn pension? So the Muhammad Ali Act was pro-fighters. It's a great thing, not a good thing. It's a great thing. Here's the problem. The other side is that, as important as that is, when you get fighters that are glorified marketing schemes, and these promoters get a hold of something great, and they force it in the public's eye, and these companies say, hey man, you know, let's get an organized effort to push this fighter to the front lines, you know. Big D, what up? Let's see if we can make money off of this guy or woman. He has a look about him. Let's get him in the ring with some bums. Rankings, what's that? We could buy rankings. We could give people step-aside money and have them sign non-disclosure agreements, which is why people getting moved up and down in the rankings. You don't know what's going on. And instead of fighting their contemporaries, what do you think happens? Took Tom, salute. What do you think happens? They moved him around. And next thing you know, because he's in your face every day, you think he's the goods. Which is why these guys come into the business and they tell you that he's some sort of draw, to the point where the casual public believes it. My boys in Brooklyn was like, yo, Drew, you going to this Tank fight? That was when he was fighting Rolly. I said, nah, I'm not going to that. I don't really fuck with Tank. What? Now, these are my old co-workers. There's about 15 to 17 years of an age gap between them, and they don't know what I know. So when I broke it down, I said, look, man, this dude ain't fighting nobody. And they know I know boxing. She's not fighting what I tell you, I ain't asked for this Rolly Romero fight. Oh, but they're saying that this kid punched hard. I said, look, they're saying. Who's telling you that? The news? Yeah, right. They look for people like you. Y'all live in Brooklyn. It's something for y'all to do that weekend. You go ahead. My brother Trick Nolte came in to go to that fight. Yeah. Yes, Trick. George Clinton, Atomic Dog, is everywhere. As a matter of fact, if you a Q dog, you step to that. Does he own the publishing? My God. So I had to explain to the young brothers. I said, look, you can go because it's the thing to do, and he's going to knock this kid out. And I know he has that look that y'all are still into. You know, the braided in the hair and all. I get it, man. But I said, as a supporter of the sport, I said, I can't fuck with this kid. Now, if he was in there fighting Shakur or Devin or Lomachenko, hell yeah, I'd be there. Yamo be there. But I said, nah. Kenny, what up, brother? Happy New Year. Johnson, salute. So I said, y'all go ahead, but I'm not knocking y'all. I said, yo, look, I know how this ends. And I'm not going to support it until he does something for me to support. That's it. And I said that respectfully. These companies get behind these fighters, literally. That's a whole nother show for Patreon. And they push, they get behind those fighters and they push an agenda. And it's a marketing scheme. It's not real. You want an example of that? In the 90s, and this man has a movie out right now that I didn't know about. I'm gonna watch it if I can find it. You know, Prince Nassim Hamed has a movie about his life. Yeah. Yep. Mark, what up? Think about what I'm saying, y'all. Prince Nassim Hamed has a whole movie out. And I remember his commercial when he was making his American debut. The big one, the big debut, when he fought our brother Kevin Kelly, friend to the Stronghouse. And I remember I said, all right, he must be nice. I remember, you know, that ring walk was like 10 minutes. It was crazy. And he got the knockout. But my point is, they were promoting this guy like he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I said, stylistically, you know, he got that off on my boy. But he's strong. He's awkward. He's fun to watch. He's marketable. But I said, one of these little Mexican dudes going to get him, bro. And at that time, Floyd Mayweather was in the lighter weight class. He called him out, but you know how that went. It's Top Rank. He was with Top Rank at that time. You know how that goes. But he ended up fighting Barrera, and that was the end of that. That was the end of that. And what did people say when I went to work? Well, I guess he wasn't that good anyway. I said, hey, what? See? He might be great on a British level. And no, that's not something I'm saying that's bad. I just heard Tony Bellew say that and David Allen say that a few weeks ago about Ben Whitaker. He might be good on a British level, but he needs to broaden his horizon. I heard him say that. Because there's a difference. Now it's time for him to step up and do some other things. Yeah, Trick. Yep. It's time for him to step up. Ben Whitaker looks really good doing what he's doing against. He's doing it too. But what happens? He's at 175. What happens when he starts cracking that top 10? What happens? And they start hitting him back. Ain't gonna be no more of that dancing around and shit. It was cute when we saw Prince Nassim Hamed, Mansa Musa, my brother. It was cute watching him dance on people and hit people with those. He was strong, man. All around strong. Salute. He was strong. He was strong. But he got in there with a real one in Barrera. And let me say this, y'all. He never ran it back. I was asking that back in the day. I said, we got to see a rematch, right? That's the only other explanation, right? What happened? Get it back in blood? Remember that? That term wasn't popular then. I was just saying, run it back. That's what I was saying, run it back. He didn't do it. He didn't like that matchup. His teammate liked the matchup, and that was the end of that. And I'm saying that respectfully. I'm saying that respectfully. Marketing scheme. HBO, along with whoever, with Top Rank, and they're in cahoots with whatever belt, the WBC, the WBA, whatever, and everybody's making money off of this one fighter. And most people that don't know any better would say, man, that's God's greatest thing since sliced bread. But then you got actual supporters of the sport that says, wait a minute, man. He got a mandatory. He ain't fighting. He got a number one contender. He ain't fighting. There's another guy to his left that got a belt. Then the other guy to his right that has a belt. And they fought in the amateurs. And they fought 4 times and they split. And he's fighting some guy that's ranked number 12 in the NABO that we never heard of. And you know he's going to knock him out. But the casuals will accept that. You understand what I'm saying? They will accept that. It's the inmates running the asylum. Because there's more of them than us. And that's dangerous. And the only way to make this go away is TKO has to win. And I say that with a heavy heart, with respect to the Muhammad Ali Act, something that you casuals wasn't even talking about. It's just another argument for y'all to run around and throw around and You're not going to pull at my heartstrings because you know what? Turkey Al Sheikh is your fault. Because if everybody was fighting everybody, if the best was fighting the best, there would have been nothing for Turkey Al Sheikh to do other than to say, hey, man, I got more money over here. Shelton, what up? I got more money over here. Just come over here and just work with me. You're about to make $2 million fighting this guy. I'll pay you $4 million. Just come over here and work with me. We're trying to get Saudi under control with the sports thing. We're trying to broaden our horizons. All I can offer you is money. And then we'll see what's going on. Hassan, what up? Then we'll see what's going on. We'll see who's loyal to who. Because remember, DAZN came through and tried to do this first. You remember? I remember the arguments that people were giving me on Facebook when I was on there. Eddie Hearn has $1 billion bag. DAZN is funded by a billionaire Russian. He's going to buy up every athlete in the PBC. Cheerio, it's tea time. I'm like, listen. Oh, I'm sorry. Eddie Hearn is going to be the face of boxing. And I'm like, well, because they'd asked me how I felt about that. You're always wondering about how I feel about things. And you're not worried about the benefit of the sport. Stop worrying about how I feel. Worried about what's good for the sport. Because that's the other problem. Y'all worried about what's good for you. If you love Tank Davis and his booty clapping videos and him knocking out a bunch of nobodies, that's good for you. That's not good for the sport. Stop with, oh, what happens if your boy loses, Drew? I'm going to talk about it. Because you already know if he wins, I'm going to talk about it. If you lose, I'm going to talk about it. That's why that close your channel shit. If Deontay loses, close your channel. If Errol loses, close your channel. Remember, if Bud loses, remember that old man, that dude that said he was 60 in my chat? If Bud loses, close your channel. No. If Bud loses, I'm going to talk about it because this is a boxing channel. This isn't a Bud channel. This is a boxing channel. Why are you worried about how I feel? That tells me that you feel a certain kind of way. You are in your feelings about this fighter, and anybody that opposes him, you want to cut them down like they're the worst thing in the world. Or if you feel he's going to win, you're going to build him up until he looks stupid. Now you tell me what the problem is. You guys came in here and y'all created Turkey Al Sheikh. These dudes was telling me about DAZN, and they were saying, oh, he's the face of boxing, and they're saying Eddie Hearn is the face of boxing. Oh, and here's the emphasis. A salute to Curtis Robinson in the Strong House, man. Salute to you, brother. Much love and appreciation. Check this out. It wasn't the fact that Eddie Hearn was going to be the new face of boxing. Let me tell you what they were saying to me. They were saying Eddie Hearn is going to come through with DAZN money and buy up all the PBC fighters. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Question. What is your fascination with purchasing all of the PBC fighters? What is that? Then they literally asked me, how would I feel if he did that? You know what my response was? I don't care. Black Undertaker, salute. I don't care. Do you know why? If Eddie Hearn buys up all the PBC fighters and I start getting all the fights that I want, then that's great for boxing. Yes or no? And that was my response to them. That was my response. I said, if he buys them up, I don't care. Am I going to get the fights that I want? At that time, what did I want? I wanted Maul Charlo or Andre to fight Canelo. I wanted Lara against one of the Charlos. I wanted Triple G to do something. There was a franchise status that was involved around that time. I was out here going nuts like, whoa. So if he comes in with $1 billion bag and buys up everybody and we start getting the matches we want, I don't care. I said, is he going to finally make Wilder versus AJ? I'm with that. So in that aspect, I don't care. And if those fighters sell out for money, but what's the trade-off? I'm going to get the bag, but I'm going to fight my contemporary. I'm with that. I don't care who runs boxing. See, y'all are for those bragging rights. I don't care. But then I asked them a question aside from their question. After I answered that, I said, let me ask y'all a question though. What is your obsession with putting Al Heyman out the business? And that's where we got to the racial aspect of it. Because then they started tap dancing. Why does it have to be race with you? I said, well, what is this? Y'all ain't talking about him coming with that $1 billion bag and going to buy up all the top ranked talent. I don't hear y'all saying that. Why can't he buy them out and build his case? Look, we got top ranked fighters now. So PBC fighters, you can come over here and fight your contemporary. There's no side of the street. I made a bridge. Y'all can all cross the bridge now. And what did Eddie Hearn do? He came in and sent an offer to Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury released it to the public and clowned Eddie. Then he reached out to Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner said, eat a dick, I'm loyal. I'm already munching on one. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Then they went to the Charlos. I think the Charlos sat down with them, and they said, no, we ain't like what they were talking. So he tried, but everybody was loyal to Al at that time. These are facts. Then Tank came along. But what's the trade-off now? The PBC fell into the same rut that everyone else was in. The difference is their style of business doesn't work anymore. And I ain't got nothing to do with that. Boxing first. Boxing first. Drew, why you turn? I'll tell you why. I just mentioned Deontay Wilder, right? What happened to Deontay, and I ain't gonna get too deep into it. What happened to Deontay happened on the PBC's watch, and that's unforgivable. There's more people blaming the victim than anything, and it pissed me off. So since then, I was looking at the PBC and who's running it with one eye open, like, huh? Why is Larry Merchant sitting on the couch saying that? Oh, maybe I'm a little too black. Maybe I'm a little too, quote unquote, woke. Because the PBC was running shit at one point, and they were under crazy huge bias. And I thought we had something. The same people that was commentating in the booth with Andre Ward also picked Kovalev to kill Andre Ward, and also said that Andre Ward lost the first fight. See what I mean? And Andre Ward is great, not good, as great as he is. He said some shit that made me scratch my head like, what's up with him? But that's another live, man. I've learned, especially going into this year, I got to pull back from how I view these people. I got to pull back from how I view these people. Let me go back up here. Because it's not appreciated. And they're not as aware as we would like for them to be. And if somebody didn't put them up on how life works, it's not my job. 704 Joe, salute. It's just what it is. So the trade-off was you had 4 sanctioning bodies that work closely with Top Rank. Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry. You got to pull back because a lot of these cats are not as aware as everybody else. And I've come to terms with that. But that's another live stream. But you got these sanctioning bodies who work with these promotion companies, and they find they hit lightning in a bottle. The Manny Pacquiao situation, if y'all go back that far, to me it was like yesterday. I said, man, this dude is good, but they were telling a lot of lies about his accomplishments. They were. And then when we got all the way up to the Floyd Mayweather situation, that was 4 years of nonsense. And there was a lot of lies with that. A lot of lies. And all Turkey Al-Sheikh did was come through with real money and say, hey, man, you're the such and such champion. And your contemporary may not have a belt, but we know that that's the fight everyone wants. How about this? You come down to Riyadh and I'll pay you X amount of dollars and y'all can fight, maybe twice. And one fighter will say, I'm with it. The other one that says, well, hey, man, I got these 2 belts here, though. And Turkey will say, hey, how much money you paying for those belts? I tell you what, jump ship, let those belts go, come down here and fight this guy that everyone wants to see you fight. I'll pay you triple the amount of money, and y'all can fight for this super crazy gold with leather that's worth about $2 million itself. You would be a fool not to go do that. And that's just what these cats did. That's what Jairo Patah did. I don't even remember what he did. I don't even remember who he fought. But the IBF said, yo, if you go down there and fight, we're going to strip you. He said, later, take this shit. I'm going to go down there and make my bank, and I'm going to come back. And whoever got my IBF, God bless him. Because I'm going to knock their fucking head off. And that's just what he did. So Turkey Al-Sheikh has made these dudes powerless. You want another example? I'll give you another example. Let me read what Stormy said, though. He said, get Oscar the fuck out of boxing. Own the Ring magazine. You want to talk about selling out? Owned the Ring magazine and allowed writers to discriminate against fighters, even though it was supposed to be world recognition. Wrote negative agenda-based articles, right? And by the way, what did Oscar do with Ring? Didn't he sell it to Turkey Al-Sheikh?
Whoa!
Uh-oh. He was writing bullshit in his articles, then sold it straight to Turkey Al-Sheikh. Yep. What I'm trying to convey to you guys this morning is Dana White a saint? Hell no. Hell no. Is Turkey perfect? No. But you know what? This is what boxing deserves. I'm no longer crying about no Muhammad Ali act. I know how important it is, but you know who doesn't know? You know who didn't care? Casuals. Now I was about to give you an example of what Turkey's done. He's made a bunch of fights that we would have never have gotten under his banner. You know what we didn't get, although he tried to get it done? We didn't get Tank versus Devin. 25 mil apiece. I think that's what the deal was. And Mellow Yellow said no. Mellow Yellow said no. Give me 2 Ferraris. That's what he said. And by the way, if y'all are a member on BFTB, he put up a video yesterday. If you're a member and you missed it, go listen to that video. I'm not even going to say what he said on there, but there was some more information. And let me say this. Gervonta Tank Abdul Wahid Davis is the biggest mark in boxing. He's the biggest marketing scheme. No exceptions. I'm not hearing it. How do you know what BFTB says is true? He talks to Bill Haney. Like I can call Bill Haney. Like anyone could, like Champ Side could call him and 78 could call him. Why would Bill lie about this? Why is Bill a liar, but you believe fucking Dan Raphael and Steve Kung Fu Kim? Why do you believe Oscar De La Hoya when he's right now actively moving Virgil Ortiz away from Boots? What principle is he standing on? The man tried to sue Al Heyman for violating the Muhammad Ali Act. Now he's cuddled up with him. This is a fight they're not going to win, bro. They're not going to win. You done kept Boots away from Devin. Now you're moving Boots away from Virgil Ortiz. And now you're laughing. You're trying to laugh at Eddie Hearn saying you can't even get Boots a fight. Well, guess what? He's not lying. He's not lying. I don't know why Boots is not working independent. And more, you look at DHP and you got to pat them on the back like, wow, look at what y'all did amongst the goddamn chaos. Look what you've accomplished. Look what you've accomplished. That's awesome. I always tell y'all, all I see is the work, right? Right. Don't mind what I see, because Turkey sees it too, which is why Devin has been the highest paid fighter on his cards when Devin was on him. All y'all see, y'all small thinkers, Devin's not even the main event. Don't matter. Look at the pay. Look at who got paid. Then all of a sudden, when you refer them to an article on the internet, all of a sudden it's not good enough. Oh, well, how we know that's true? All right, fine, man. But everything you read negative about Devin is true, right? You can believe that. BFTB was cooking these fools yesterday. Because you know why? They didn't understand the question. You know that's what that was. They did not understand the question. I ain't gonna get into it, but I was laughing the whole time I was listening. I said, these clowns really don't understand the question. They don't get it. They don't get it. That's okay. That's okay. You stupid, Renzo. Oh, Bama, I don't even remember, bro, to be honest with you. I got it off in the app. I don't even remember the name of it. I gotta look for it. I don't even remember the name. I just find things that are relaxing and I change it every now and again. I mean, all of these things, man. I ain't got to make nothing up. I ain't got to lie on anybody. But all of these games, from top-ranked games and Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya openly moving Virgil Ortiz around, and he's purposely keeping him away from Boots. I want to see that fight. But if Oscar has anything to say about it, he's not going to make it. So Oscar's keeping Ortiz away from Boots, and fucking, Matchroom and Eddie Hearn is purposely keeping Louis Crocker away from Devin Haney. Sanctioning bodies got to get involved and everything else, and it's crazy. So that's the red tape that boxers have to deal with. Listen, if there was no Riyadh season, if there was no Turkey al-Sheikh, Devin would be having a bigger problem. Working independent, trying to fight these guys, and he'd have to assign short-term deals to get what he wants. He did that already with Eddie. So I'm thankful that Turkey al-Sheikh came through, because he leveled the playing field. But here's the trade-off. If TKO becomes a big dog on the block, you might say goodbye to the Muhammad Ali Act. But you know what, man? Y'all don't care. Y'all wasn't worried about it in the first fucking place, because y'all were pro your favorite fighter being deterred from their contemporaries. It took 4 years to make Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. That was 100% Bob Arum's fault. 100%. I'm not debating that fact. I was here for it. I have all the articles saved in my bookmarks. I will forever. I've gotten several new computers since then. The only thing that I did always save is something called a Manny Pacquiao folder, and I have everything there. Facts, data. That's what I have. We would never have gotten Bivol versus Beterbiev if it wasn't for Riyadh season. Listen, Canelo came through how many companies and drained the swamp and still never gave us Benavidez. Benavidez just stopped pursuing him. Like, he was like, man, I'm not doing this. F that guy. And Canelo fans are cool with that. Y'all are cool with shit like that. Tank and Devin. I really did think, I gave y'all too much credit, but I really did think that there would be an awakening. Yo, Tank, I fucks with you, man, but nah, you got to go fight Devin. Some cats did say that. And what happened? You sound soft. Fuck y'all. That's how he talks to y'all. Eric Jordan, that super chat, he says Miguel's 100 mad that the Ninja Sword made it final. Yeah, you goddamn right.
Give power to my nigger sword!
Last year I said boxing needs to burn. And there was still some time for them to get right. But at this current junction, I'm not going to let some casuals start using Oscar De La Hoya talking points when he's actively right now, openly saying the quiet part out loud. He's not hiding it. The reason why we're not getting Boots versus Ortiz right now is because of Oscar. The reason why we didn't get Devin versus Boots is because of Eddie Hearn. The reason why we're not getting Devin versus Louis Crocker is because of Eddie Hearn. So he still has some power. BFTB, salute. He still has some power. But if everything around him collapsed, and TKO is the only big dog on the block, you casuals don't talk to me about the Muhammad Ali Act, because if Dana White runs boxing like how he runs the UFC, here's how it works. You're a champion, you fight your mandatory. The most that can happen is if it's a good enough fight that warrants a rematch, you're going to get that. Or, of course, if you lose a title, the former champion deserves his lick back. That's how it's supposed to be. In every weight class, one face, one name. You know, one face, one name that y'all laughed at Deontay for saying one face, one name. I thought it was funny, right? Okay. And it's so funny now, right? But the people that are against this, you're upset that the possibility that your favorite fighter goes over there, they're going to fight not only one of their contemporaries, they're going to fight like 5 or 6 of them. And I'll put this picture up here again, just to ruffle your feathers. There's no excuse. Since 2019, there's no excuse that Tank, from 2019 until today's date, there's no excuse why Tank Davis could have fought, didn't fight all of these guys with the exception of Lamont Roach. He did fight him and fought him to a draw, and he's not even giving you that back. I don't believe that he's going to fight Cruz because there's no guarantee he beats Cruz either, especially at 140. Oh, he's going to come down to 135. You don't know that. El Rayo didn't do that. And by the way, I didn't put El Rayo on here. You know why? Because Tank ducked El Rayo. Drew, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He ducked El Rayo. Exactly, BF. They don't give a fuck about the Ali Act. So it's not even an argument to me. I know how important it is. But they're saying fuck the unborn because people that are coming into boxing, they're going to have to deal with it the way Dana White's going to run it. And unfortunately, we're going to have to make that normalized because then I'm going to remind them, you know what it used to be? All through the, since 2000, you know what it used to be 20 years ago, bro? Yeah, more flexibility. But with that great power came great responsibility. And these cats were irresponsible. They made money and ducked their mandatories. And I'm not going to pay to watch them fight people I know they're going to beat. But some of these guys develop these weird fan bases that just like watching their booties shake beyond their shorts. Now back to this picture. I didn't put El Rayo on here. I didn't put Sandor Martin on here. He ducked El Rayo. El Rayo was at 140. They contacted El Rayo about a fight. They were with the shits. They said, cool, come to 135. They said, wait a minute. We just won a belt at 140. Why would we go back down there? Oh my God. Somebody told Tank no? Absolutely. Why? Let me spit in your face right now. I know y'all like that shit, you freak asses. Let me spit in your face right now. Why did he try to fight El Rayo? Because he knows his stupid ass fan base would say, well, he's Mexican. He moves the needle. I like that fight. That's what you dumbasses would say. That's what you would say. You know how cringe that is? Undermining the black dollar, but you same niggas will say, you black, right? Yeah, right. So you like the El Rayo fight, right? Okay, great. He said, screw that. I am Mexican. I'm going to make money regardless. I don't need to fight you. Now look, there was always Devin Haney. There was always Shakur. But there you go, undermining the black dollar. But your stupid ass fans would get on here and ask me, you black, right? Fuck out of here. So the Mexican told you no. Because he's not going to conform and bend the knee and kiss the ring of Tank Davis, the face of boxing. He said, fuck out of here. I just want a belt. Come up here and try and get it. And Tank said no. Tank ducked El Rayo. Don't get it twisted. He ducked El Rayo. But 140's too big. Isaac Cruz is at 140. They fought at 140. And he says, when my knee gets better, I didn't know his knee was fucked up, but when my knee gets better, I'm coming back to fight. Drum roll, Isaac Cruz. Wait a minute, you beat him. We thought you was coming back to fight Roach. You know the guy you fought to a draw? Hair grease? Remember that? All of a sudden, you finally took VADA testing, and all of a sudden, where'd your power go? Because the guy that came up for 130 pounds, he ain't run or duck and dodge. He was fighting you in the pocket. What the fuck was that? I ain't trying to put nothing out there, but he did take VADA testing, and all of a sudden there was no knockout power. There was not one point where Lamont Roach was in trouble in that fight. But never mind that. Run it back. He said, nope. He said, nope. I'm going to fight a guy I beat already. And by the way, again, if you're not a member of BFTB's channel, he put out some information that I just saw yesterday, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm like, oh my God, bro. Tank is a boodissy. He's a booty and a pussy at the same. He's a boodissy. He is the worst. The biggest marketing scheme I've seen in boxing to date. The worst. Fuck out of here. You ducked El Rayo. And you're not even running it back. People saying, oh, he's going to run it back with Lamont Roach. I don't believe it. He beat Cruz with one hand. He going to need to with Lamont Roach. And I don't even think that's going to matter. He going to have to throw kicks or something. Because Lamont was on his ass, not like how he likes it. And I appreciate that, BF. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I listened to it last night. I was like, yo, what in the actual ass? Y'all, yo, listen, you gotta be a member. I ain't saying shit, but I know what I know. Just like I know these 15 faces here, at any point from 2019 to current, he could have fought all of these guys at some point, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He gave you a bunch of shit that we didn't ask for. And y'all celebrated mediocre shit, and y'all accepted as excellence. And I call bullshit on it. But this is what you do. And that's why I don't respect Tank fans. There's no level of Tank fan that I respect. If you're not honest with what's going on, I don't respect you. There are a few guys that are out here like, yo, man, I fucks with Tank. I'm from the city, or we from the DMV, but you know what? He got work to do. We can have a real conversation. And it's not about cutting Tank down. It's pointing out the discrepancies. Y'all understand the difference between pointing out the discrepancies and actually hating on them, nigga? Y'all understand what that is? There's a difference. This isn't hate. This is, hey, man, you this great fighter. All I'm saying is prove it. That's all I ever said. Oh, you's a hater. How? You sound like a girl. Hey, man, you know, Chris Brown is nice and all, but, you know, Michael Jackson's the king of pop forever. You just hating. What? No. Did I say Chris Brown was trash? No. Did I bring up the Rihanna shit? No. I said he's really good, but y'all got to stop with these Michael Jackson comparisons. There's only one MJ. There's only one C Breezy, and C Breezy's not MJ. Don't be talking about my boo-boo. Okay. And stop talking about him around me. Goddamn. Hey, Chris Brown could sing, but Luther Vandross has probably the greatest R&B voice of all time. You just hating. That's how y'all sound. It's not hate. It's a fact. It's a fact. Not an 86 in that super chat. He says, salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC. Salute to you, good brother. Delano, why are you always trying to engage with me on some beef shit? What is wrong with you? If I'm not bringing up Ryan Garcia, why do you think I'm doing it? I brought him up earlier before you pulled up. And I never say anything good about him. I point out the truth and also point out how he's accepted And this is another reason why boxing needs to die. TKO needs to happen. I thought about this. Y'all don't give a shit about no Muhammad Ali act. Y'all care about Gucci. Y'all care about yourselves. This whole time. If y'all cared about fairness in the Muhammad Ali act, why the fuck why the fuck y'all supporting KO, hoping that Devin Haney gets frozen out of opportunities when all Devin's trying to do is fight the best? How the fuck do you celebrate that? People actually trying to do shit. Motherfuckers be resurrecting people that are very inconsistent in their careers. You keep talking about Gary Russell Jr. Great. What is he doing? Tell me what he's doing. He looked outstanding in his last fight. What is he doing next? Did I ever say he was trash? No. I'm like, yo, more. Give me more of that. What's up, bro? When it came time to fight Devin, a fight that we made here, what happened? I tell y'all this a million times. Batman was a regular on my show. His brother. He said, I don't know, Slam, Dad don't want the fight. I said, your dad don't want the fight? He said, Slam, I don't know why. Well, there goes that. They ain't listen to their father. That's why we didn't get Devin versus Gary Russell. So I don't know what Gary Anton talking about. Brother, get to work. Don't you got to get it back in blood? He has a loss, right? No one telling him to run that back? Did I say he was trash? No. Get busy. You can't be calling people's names out and not getting busy. Devin's getting busy, kicking ass, taking names, taking belts, and still he has a list. And still on that list, the only one motherfucker that called him out, Brian Norman Jr., who wasn't on any of y'all radar until he fought Devin. Then he became the best thing since sliced bread. Things happened the way they happened, and now what? Y'all abandoned that ship. Y'all left B. Norman alone, which is fucked up. And we're still stuck with this? Now you got fucking Ortiz being moved around away from Boots by Oscar De La Hoya. Boots shouldn't even be over there with Eddie Hearn with his track record. Getting AJ beat, hiding B samples from Dillian White. Oh, Conor Ben can't fight in the UK. Bring him over to Florida. That's the guy you went to work with? And then I look at Devin Haney. All I see is the work. And y'all don't see it. So with that being said, I say, and suddenly, I want TKO to win. Because fuck y'all. Seriously. I don't care no more. Because y'all don't care. Curtis Robinson in that super chat salute you, brother. He says, great content, telling the truth. I'm on a job, brother. I'm on a job. Win or lose, I'm on a job. Charles Toon, salute. Delano, they all cut from the same cloth, man. They all cut from the same cloth. Don't talk to me about no boogeyman. It's Debo Dev, Debo Dev, Debo Dev, Debo Dev. That's the only boogeyman. He's pillow-fisted. What do they say about the boogeyman? He can't hurt you. There's no monster under your bed. There's no monster in the closet. Don't worry. What happens is there's some shit really in your goddamn closet. It's going to eat you up. That's how you feel as a kid, right? There's only one boogeyman. That's Debo Dev. And you see, this is the bullshit. See, watch this. Who's ducking Gary Russell Jr.? There's only one boogeyman. I just said, Delano. I'm not doing this with you this morning. I just said. They were supposed to fight coming out the pandemic. BF, you still in the chat? Andrew Toppin, salute. Slim Hussein, salute. That fight was almost done. Team Russell said no, bro. Team Russell said no. Did I say he was scared? No. I'm saying the fight ain't happening because of Team Russell, not DHP. It was them. He's not a boogeyman. I don't even know what Gary Russell Jr. is doing right now. And he's a cool dude. I hung out with him. BF, am I lying on this? Team Russell said no. It wasn't Gary, it wasn't DHP, it was Russell. We were all here for that. Batman was on every kind of panel. He was everywhere. And we were this close to making that fight. And his father said no. That's just what happened. I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm not talking bad. I'm just telling you what happened. Now, as far as Gary Antoine is concerned, he's just talking. You want to get the attention? Do something worth getting. Listen, right now, he's equivalent to Paulie Malignaggi. BF said he still has the contract. There it is. I remember that because I got in the middle of that, and I get a headache thinking about that. Because I got played. I got played badly. If you know, you know. Oh. Y'all know that? Okay. These niggas just be talking. Y'all forgot about what happened to Super Matias? Devin beats up Regis Prograis. Then a guy named Peter Kahn contacts Bill Haney. Bill Haney comes on my live stream and says, yo, we trying to fight Super Matias. Remember that? And then I get a DM from a certain dude saying, oh, yo, Bill lied again. What are you talking about? Peter Kahn doesn't work with Super Matias. I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Well, Bill lied. Then Bill says, no, Peter Kahn called me. So then I call Cano Loco because he knows Super team. He says, they don't know Peter Kahn like that. I don't know what the fuck that was. They mad at that. And then I did a live stream. Remember the live stream I did? I pulled up Peter Kahn's box rec. I wasn't doxing him. I said, listen, y'all like calling Bill a liar. Here's what you do. Write Peter Kahn an email or call his place of business or fax him. It's all on box rec. I'm not telling y'all to dox him. I'm saying just ask the question. Y'all are on here talking about Bill's a liar. I said just ask the question. Who called who? Did Bill call you or did you call Bill? That's number one. And number two, do you work with Team Matias? Y'all remember this? Did anybody in my chat do it that was calling Bill a liar? I bet they didn't. I pulled up the box rec. And as fate would have it, Team Matias was in studio with the boxing voice, and guess who pulled up on them on the phone? Bill. He said, all right, I was talking to the wrong person now, but I got the right people now. What's up? What y'all want to do? They said, yeah, Super, his hand is broke. He broke. He hand he broke. We get back to you in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we get back to you. We fly you out to Arizona. Remember all of that? And what were my live streams? I said, we're going to wait 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, I said, this is the longest 2 weeks. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Y'all remember this? And we never got the fight. I still had one troll coming there. Matias is going to come through, and he's going to beat Devin Haney. I'm like, all right, well, when? That's all I ever say. Your guy's going to beat up Devin? Okay, when? His response, Mami Bicho. Okay. And then I go to his page. He got a picture of Devin on the floor, Ryan standing over him. I already knew what time it was. You see, guys like that, you don't even respond to. Mami Bicho indeed. But I got 15 faces on here, and one person he fought to a draw, and there was nothing but space and opportunity for Melo Yellow to do something. Delano, you could believe Gary could smoke a third of them. You're entitled to that. All I'm saying is, great. Remember like Tony the Tiger? Great. Let's see it. Watch this. Delano, tell me what Gary Russell Jr. is doing next. You're doing all this talking. Just tell me what he's doing next. Just humor me. Bob, salute. Tim Harmon, salute. Humor me. Tell me what he's doing next, bro. What is he doing next? What does he got lined up next? Stop telling me what he couldn't do. Because I might rock with you. He could beat a lot of these guys. I think Jorge Linares, ain't he retired? He's retired, right? So, all right. Loma, you want to run that back? I don't know. Is Loma coming back or what? I don't know. Mikey Garcia's retired. That's the end of that. Sandro Martin got rid of him. Devin, he ducked that. Who else, man? What is he doing next? Tell me what he's doing next. He looked good in his last outing. Can you get a name? Marcus Wall, salute. What is he doing next since you want to talk about him? But you see, here's the thing. This actually plays into my point. All this shucking and jiving that these niggas are doing, you fucking with TKO ran by Dana White, ain't no shucking and jiving. Either you're ready or you're not. He's calling up Roach, but is running scared. Is that a real thing? He called out Lamont Roach? Because I don't know. I like that fight. He's calling out Lamont Roach. And what makes you think Lamont Roach is ducking? Is Lamont Roach ducking, or does he have bigger and better things on the horizon? For Lamont Roach right now to fight Gary Russell Jr. is a step backwards. Why? Because Gary Russell, as talented as he is, he hasn't been active enough to do. He hasn't done anything. Lamont Roach got a draw with Tank and a draw with Isak Cruz. He wants to run it back with Cruz, but Cruz might get that payday snatched by Tank Davis. Now, Tank Davis has told Shakur no fight. He told Lamont Roach, I giveth and I taketh away. So what makes you think he's going to run it back with him if he fights and beats Isak Cruz again? Lamont Roach is such a dog that he'll go to 47 and get in the mix with everything over there. Hell, I see Lamont Roach wanting that Devin Haney smoke. And he ain't saying nothing but a word. Ain't nobody waiting on these people anymore. Y'all don't see the rhythm anymore? Y'all don't see what's going on? David Benavidez looked at Canelo and said, you know what? You's a sucker. I ain't waiting on you. Went to 75, and now he's about to go to like cruiserweight at 200 pounds. Now he's about to do that. Devin said, I ain't waiting on you, Tank. Man, you a pussy. Went ahead and did better. He cleaned up, got undisputed under Tank's nose at 35, and went on to do bigger and better things. Shakur said, man, Tank, I ain't fucking with you. Now I'm at 47. And now he's finally fighting a real another real contemporary. I'll give him Oscar Valdez. Everybody working. Nobody needs Tank. Watch this. Why does Tank need a Mexican to make millions? But the Mexican will tell him no and be content making less than millions fighting somebody else. Bud Duck Benavidez fucked around. I'm sorry. Canelo Duck Benavidez fucked around and found out fighting Bud and got smoked. What are we doing here? But all of this dysfunction plays right into the title of Simian Saturday, episode 9. Boxing as you know it needs to burn. I want it to burn. No, I don't know if Cruz is on the level of Mr. Gary Russell. Gary Russell is held to a high standard, but he ain't active enough. I'm actively looking for him to be more active. Like, what are you doing, bro? All this talent, why are you not fighting? And if Dana White's overseeing all of this, you ain't gonna be having time to talk and not perform. I don't give a fuck about no Muhammad Ali act anymore. Because y'all don't. Y'all didn't even know what it was until last year. When someone threw it in your face and you got mad, when Turkey Al-Sheikh said, nope, you're coming down here, I'm gonna pay you a shitload of money, but you're gonna fight your contemporary. Give me 2 Ferraris. You was already getting 25 million. Why the disrespect? Devin ain't saying no, he said no. All of this shit. This is why I need boxing conventionally as we know it I don't care about the Muhammad Ali because y'all don't know. Y'all can't even explain the shit. Y'all gotta Google it. Prez, I don't even know what you're talking about. I ain't say nothing about no resume. I don't even know what you're talking about. Guess who else Teofimo Lopez has a better resume than? Tank Davis. Tank was never unified. And Teofimo, with his better resume than Devin or Shakur, ducked Devin, tried to freeze him out in cahoots with the WBC and the WBO press. Do you know about that? That's what you call fool's gold. Prez, do you know I asked Teofimo Lopez about that? And he lied to my face. He said the fight has more emotion. Nah, the fight had more emotion at 35 when Undisputed was on the line. And then when you got in the ring and fucked around and lost to George Kambosos and made him a notable name, you openly said, you know what I was going to do with it if I got the belts. I was going to drop him and make it harder for Devin Haney. And the latest fiasco was $11 million to fight Devin Haney. Your man said no. So please don't talk to me about Teofimo Lopez. And I like how you put Teofimo Lopez got a better resume than Devin or Shakur. He got a better resume than Tank. And Devin got a better resume than all of them niggas. And by default, Teofimo's such a coward because he's ducked Devin Haney. And as a matter of fact, he don't have a better resume than Devin Haney. What are you talking about? Teofimo's never undisputed. He lost to Kambosos, who lost to Devin 2 times in a row. On his own soil. No. Shakur ducked Devin. Tank ducked Devin. And Tank ducked everybody. He ducked Tio, he ducked Shakur, he ducked Devin, ducked Gary Russell, ducking a Lamont Roach rematch. Come on, man. Stop it. Renzo Peterson in that super chat salute. He says, I respect the Russell family and I like Gary Russell Jr., but he's never lived up to his potential. He never been that active, and his best years are behind him. His brother seems to be following him, shaking my head. Rest in peace, Batman. Salute. For real, man. Southern T, my cuz. What up, brother? Man, fuck Teofimo Lopez. I don't know. Prez, what's wrong with you, bro? Real shit. Why do you do that? I need to know why you do that. You know you do that every time you come into the chat. Then you turn around and say you're not a Devin Haney hater. Then you try to put him in a sentence to try and camouflage what you're saying. But I caught what you said. Why do you do that? You know about Teofimo Lopez. Especially, you know how I feel. No. You're not talking about boxing. You're being contrary. You're not talking boxing. You're trying to create a debate which will lead to anarchy. First of all, you know how I feel about Teofimo Lopez. The fact that you don't feel the same way is alarming. It's actually quite astonishing. Your perception of his place in history is astonishing. And you conveniently left Tank Davis out of that sentence. Exactly, BF. He knows what he's doing. That's why I'm waiting for him to respond. Delano, I don't know what this obsession is with you and Gary Russell Jr., but you need to write him an email and tell him to get busy. When he does something for me to talk about, then I'll speak on it. But he's not doing anything. I just asked you, what is he doing next? And you're giving me these scenarios. It's bugged out. Frank Martin. Frank Martin's fighting at 140. What are we talking about here? What are you talking about? Stop giving me the woulda, shoulda, coulda and tell me what he's doing in all reality. Because the reality is The two active fighters, Duck Devin. That's just what it is. He says Tank Davis didn't get a chance to fight T.O. and never wanted to fight him. Well, whose fault is that? Watch this, y'all. Whose fault is that? Tank Davis didn't get a chance, meaning, was he in active pursuit of fighting Teofimo Lopez? Look at your words. Look at your words. Look at your words. He didn't get a chance to. Like Devin didn't get a chance to fight Gary Russell. Because when the opportunity was there, he said no. Just like Devin didn't get a chance to fight Teofimo because Teofimo openly admitted to playing games. I have all the audio in here. Just let me know if you want to hear it. I have video too. Let me know if you want to see it. Just like Devin didn't get a chance to fight Shakur, which means somebody was in active pursuit of fighting him. And they said no. He says Tank didn't have T.O. on his radar. I'm glad you said that. Once upon a time at 135, Teofimo Lopez had 3 belts. Where was Tank? And Teofimo checks all the boxes. He speaks Spanish. He's Latino. Because Latinos make more money fighting black people than black people fighting black people, according to your ideology. So please explain, why didn't Tank have a man that was unified champion on his radar? Go. I'll give you a minute. Because he's the A side now. He's the A side. I'll wait for you to type. And please, give me some sources. You like to live on Google and share all kinds of, please pull up a quote where that fight was spoken about and T.O. said no. Because right here it says Tank didn't have T on the radar. The man had 3 fucking belts. BF says Tank said a while ago that he would fight T.O. on a 7-fight deal. Oh, the 7-fight deal. That thing. Oh, man. I was waiting to see. I didn't know that T.O. was on that list. Look at this. Tank cares about money, not belts, and if can make more money without taking the risk. Okay, this is the part where I put up this picture. Okay. Press. The only fight up here that made Tank a lot of money was Ryan Garcia. And salute BF. I heard that Brit clown on the show last night. What he didn't know was that the very next fight against Oscar Duarte, it was proven that Ryan Garcia was not a draw. Because number 1, that fight was not on pay-per-view. And number 2, that was in Houston, I think that fight was. And I think Rod Neal was there. Our brother Rod Neal was down there. And half the goddamn arena was shut off, and it wasn't even sold out. So Ryan Garcia is not the draw. He needs a dance partner, like Tyson Fury needed a dance partner. After he fought Wilder the first time, they tried to market him. He signed the deal with ESPN. His very next fight, it wasn't even sold out. He came out dressed like Apollo Creed and everything. And nobody cared. He needed a dance partner. So Ryan Garcia needs a dance partner under normal circumstances. What's abnormal? Riyadh sees it as an abnormal situation. So he's getting the bread, but no one really cares about him unless he's in the ring with somebody. So let's play this game, Press. Teofimo Lopez or Hector Garcia? Who y'all got? Teofimo Lopez or Hector Garcia? As far as money's concerned, and a better challenge. Money and a better challenge. Well, you know what? Let's leave the word challenge out of it. Let's leave the word challenge out of it. Hector Garcia or Teofimo? Hector Garcia or Rolly Romero? Hector Garcia or Mario Barrios? No, I'm saying Hector Garcia. I'm sorry. Teofimo or Rolly? Teofimo or Mario Barrios? Teofimo or Isaac Cruz? Stop asking me about Devin, Prez. We're talking about Tank. Further proof that you can't talk about one without talking about the other, because it proves my point. Because this meme was made by the general. Stop discrimination. Y'all all talked about Devin's lack of pay-per-view buys. But prior to fighting Tank, none of these motherfuckers sold anything. Tank is the draw. But I've heard motherfuckers come up here and say he's not fighting Devin because he's not a draw. But if Tank is a draw, what does it matter? What does it matter? This is Wilder and AJ all over it again. I'm like, why do y'all care about what Deontay sells if AJ's the sell? He's the draw. Why do y'all care? This conversation that we're having, this is why I want TKO to shut shit down. Because we ain't got to deal with conversations like this. Shit'll get off the pot. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. Fuck the unborn. They're going to just have to work. None of these fools had any pay-per-view numbers to even count. I don't care if those numbers are incorrect, 200 to 450,000 pay-per-view buys, undisputed champion, or if it was 50,000 buys. It was all more than what any of these motherfuckers made as far as sales is concerned. And that leads to my point. If Tank Davis sells, it don't matter who he fights. It made no sense for him to duck Devin when she was a contemporary. It made no sense for him to duck Shakur, his contemporary with a belt. Stop talking to me about gate numbers. All of this shit is irrelevant. You know why? Because Turkey Al-Sheikh is the new sheriff in town. They weren't worried about seat sales at the Fatal Fury. I was there. It was like 10 niggas behind that curtain. They did it in the middle of Times Square.
What?
They were not concerned about a gate. It's put up or shut up. And when they say, go get your bread, Tank don't even want to do that. That's a stupid statement. And I'm glad these two were in the chat because this proves my point. This is why suddenly I want TKO to win. Fuck the Muhammad Ali act because these niggas ain't doing anything. Now, I spent a majority of this live stream telling y'all what it is. Fighters aren't fighting. They're hiding behind gate sales and Mexican sales more than black sales, and he hasn't done enough, and this guy's this unified champion and resume. Fuck that. Fight. And I need the conventional way of how you know boxing to die, Press. It needs to die because you're young and you don't know what boxing used to be. The reason why oh my God. Don't anyone answer this question but Prez. Prez, when we say four kings, who do we talk about? When we say four kings in boxing, who are the four kings? Delano says, look at this, Drew. Fank, I'm reading how you wrote it. Smoke all these, and now they included Martin are headliners now. Those are facts. Martin who? Sandor Martin? Frank Martin? Who? Prez, how many fights you've paid to go to? He says, yeah, Turkey saved you guys. Who's you guys? Who's you guys? No, what Turkey did was he shined the spotlight on you guys. That's what he did. He shined a light on you guys, and he put up a mirror in your face. Look at you. You guys are bitching and moaning that all the rest of the boxing world just wants to see your guy that you root for, whether it's AJ or Tank, fight your contemporaries. That's all we ever said. And you guys are saying no, because his contemporaries don't make enough money. They don't bring nothing to the table. And all this conversation that makes no sense. And then you swear, oh, I know business. No, you don't. You never seen a contract. You don't know how they work. You never spoken to anybody inside the industry. I am the closest one. Well, me and BF. We know these things because of who we associate with and who we speak to. And we dumb the shits down to a science like, yo, man, all we want is for this guy A to fight this guy B. And you're in my chat talking about dead crowds in Saudi. What do you care about a dead crowd in Saudi when you haven't even gotten on a plane to go anywhere? Well, I'm sorry. Didn't you say you've gone to Nigeria? Great. How many boxing matches have you took money out your pocket to go and support? How many pay-per-views have you bought? What do you care about dead crowds? I want the best competition to test their mettle. That's it. The last 2 decades, I've listened to these arguments online, everywhere. It's like, what are y'all talking about? But get back to my question. Mook, what up, bro? Okay, great. Duran, Leonard, Hearns, Hagler. What do they have in common? What do they have in common? Duran, Leonard, Hearns, Hagler. What do they all have in common, Press? Now I got to teach this kid something. You got to be patient with the youth. Now, y'all ain't got to answer. Y'all ain't got to ask him no questions. Y'all already know what y'all dealing with him. What does Duran and Leonard and Hearns and Hagler have in common? Kansas City Max, salute. Tell me what they have in common. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. See, that's the problem. They all fought each other, but look what he says at the end. Who cares? Exactly. And that's why I've been singing that song, They Not Like Us, before my brother wrote it. We're having 2 different conversations. You see, that's why I can't get irate about this kid. This shit is normalized like skinny jeans and painted black fingernails. This has become normal. Y'all see what I'm dealing with right here? This is why you can't get irate about this. They all fought each other, but who cares? That's not what we do. Remember I told y'all about the conversation I had on the Facebook group? Who would you rather be? What career would you rather have? Charles Barkley or Robert Horry? Everybody that said Robert Horry were in their 20s or teens. And I said, well, why are y'all picking Robert? Oh, because he got like 7 championships. Okay. Where's he at now? Well, I don't know. Where's his place in the Hall of Fame? I mean, he might be there. But is he a top 50 player like Charles Barkley? No. We ain't get no rings. Okay. In a team sport, does rings necessarily make the player? We're about the rings over here. We're about the chips. Oh, so you'd rather sit on a bench for 82 games, barely suit up, be on injured reserve, but if you get to pop bottles in that locker room, then you did something. You get to pop bottles in the locker room, then you did something. Now, I'm not saying that that's Robert Horry. That wasn't what I was saying, because Robert Horry is Mr. Big Shot. He had nerves of ice, And if you left him open for that 3, he would J you right in your face. Yes. His rookie season and his sophomore season, he got a chip. Him and Sam Cassell were rookies when they run titles back to back. But he's not a top 50 all-time player. Charles Barkley is. They built teams around him. They have him listed as 6'6". No, he's not. He's more like 6'4". He just had long arms and he was tough as fuck. And he could jump. He was a menace on the court. He was, unfortunately, he just played during the Jordan era. And y'all know how that go. He had his own shoe deal. He was on Dream Team 1, a perennial all-star. But I had a bunch of kids talking about they'd rather be Robert Horry because y'all reading these stats, but stats don't always tell the story. So then when I asked the same question, I said, well, how about this? Who would you rather be? Patrick Ewing or Luke Longley? Then it got quiet. Why? Why not Luke Longley? Luke Longley got 3 chips with the championship Bulls. He was a starting center. But Patrick Ewing is a top 50 all-time player. What are we talking about? He had a shoe deal, Dream Team 1, perennial all-star. But you're going to tell me, because Luke Longley has 3 chips with the Bulls, you'd rather be that? What are we talking about? So now let's look at this comment right here. They all fought each other, but who cares? It matters, press. It matters. Because all 4 of them wasn't walking around posting high saying, I beat his ass, I beat his ass, I beat his ass. And they got these unconditional fan bases agreeing with them. Oh, I like Tommy Hearns because I like his Jerry curl. I like Marvin Hagler because of his bald head. I like Sugar Ray Leonard because he's pretty with straight teeth. I like Roberto Duran because he's Latino. We wasn't dealing with that. Now you could beat him, beat him. Coach Hudson, salute. You could beat him, beat him. Let me see it. I never rocked with a fighter to the degree where he could talk about what he could do and he's just not doing it. I never. And then if I get a chance to talk to the fighter, hey man, why you won't fighting, Joey Spaz over there? I know you could do it. And if I tell him that, he tells me, fuck you. You sound soft. That's your response? Uh-oh. That would make me think, hey, man, I got more faith in his abilities than he does. No, Prez, you go talk to Tank Davis. That's not my guy. Because you know what happens when they all go talk to Tank Davis? You know what happens? He calls you soft. He says, fuck y'all. I've seen it. That's what he says. So you can't tell anyone, go talk to Tank Davis, because we see what happens when you talk to Tank Davis. You see how that works, young man? You can't make this up at all, man. You see what I'm talking about? Godfather.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
BF says, I can talk to him. Don't want to, though. And guess what? I think there's only 2 YouTubers that I know that has actually spoken to Tank. That's Blue Blood on the Rise podcast, and Champside actually interviewed him on The Move. BF's OG, matter of fact, at the Fatal Fury, BF, true or false, his OG was right there with us. His OG was right there. BF, with all the truth he tells about Tank, there ain't no death threats like you, I'm not saying Prez is doing this. I'm saying like these stupid ass fans are doing. There ain't no death threats because you know why? BF ain't lying on this kid. No one's lying on him. I was just in the space like, yo, what the fuck? This kid's a killer. Can I see it? Haven't seen anything yet. Know what I've seen? Hector Garcia, Rolly Romero, Isak Cruz. And you know what was fucked up about the Cruz fight? He beat him and then goes into the locker room and says a new star is born. He fights Lamont Roach to a fucking draw, right? And he's not even giving him a goddamn rematch. Feel me? But then I get his dumbass fans asking me, Drew. I'm saying, Drew, you black, right? Boy, you gonna sit your stupid ass down? Don't ever question my blackness, nigga. Not when you justify a nigga that cuss you out every 5 seconds he'll get. He ain't giving you shit that you want. He thinks that everybody just wants him to lose. Asking him to do his job and beat on his contemporaries translates to him as you just want to see him lose. He openly said his biggest fear is to lose on a grand stage like that. I never heard Devin talk like that. I never heard Deontay talk like that. I never heard Errol talk like that. So what are we talking about? So Prez says they all fought each other, but who cares? It matters. You know why? Because when that don't happen, guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh could come in the front door with real money and put Dana White in charge. And when if everything falls, if Golden Boy goes belly up, the PBC's on shaky legs, they're in a joint venture right now. If you're pulling up just now, shout out to Aki TV. Golden Boy and the PBC are in a joint venture right now. And look at this homosexual. Yo, dude, get your girl. Get your girl. Get your girl. I want to talk. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your girl. I want her to know what you're doing and ask her thoughts on this. I bet you James Franklin's girl is light-skinned and he's trying to get her to tattoo Baltimore on her back. Now, why is he doing that? He is probably dating a little light-skinned chick and wants her to get Baltimore tattooed on her back. Now, why the fuck do you think he's doing that? Why do you think? Just take a guess. Take a wild guess why this dude is dating a woman, a little light-skinned chick, and he wants her to get Baltimore tattooed on her back. Let's take a wild guess. Y'all let me know. You dudes are creeps, I swear to God. Do. Brother said it don't matter. Ain't that something? These dudes is more invested in what we say. You can't call us liars, but they're more invested in what we say about a dude that don't give a fuck about him. And then they're going to say they're boxing fans. Ain't that weird? That weird?
Nigger.
That's strange, right? Corner girl salute. Exactly. That's what it is. So you can imagine this Tank. This dude had sex with his woman from behind and he likes the smell of eggs. He likes the smell of eggs when he has sex. Come on, baby, let's go get some Chipotle, extra black beans. Baby, you know what that does to me? I don't care. He don't. He really don't. Big Joe Townsend, salute. He really don't. Snoop, what up? Isaiah, what up? He really don't. This nigga likes the smell of eggs. You want to play games? Let's play games, man. Let's play games since you want to do it. Oh boy, let's play. Y'all don't want to. You know, I'm asking real questions. I'm saying, hey man, you know, let's get these real fights going. I want the real fights, and these motherfuckers, they just want to protect their love interest. That's what it is. You're protecting your love interest. You guys are creeps. No bullshit. Y'all are creeps. Where's that? Oh, here we go. I got y'all right now. Hold on. Oh, sham it. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm moving stuff around. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Man, I don't mind getting messy. I don't mind getting messy. You know, actually, I appreciate you, Tank Fanatics, because I never thought it'd get any worse than what I'm seeing. But y'all don't disappoint. Y'all don't disappoint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up a meme of your fucking hero. So y'all, you know, and it's gotten to the point where, you know, I actually like telling the truth about this kid. Because it don't have to be a roast. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be a roast. It don't have to be a roast. Because I always say to y'all niggas, like, yo, stop me when I'm lying. Don't I always say that? Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. And y'all can't. And like a girl, like the dumb girls you are, y'all, you hating on Tank? Okay, don't put that coat on me. I'll squeeze into it. I'll squeeze into it. I'm hating on Tank. Hating on Tank. Y'all can't tell me when I'm lying on him, though. Hold on. Try and get this meme up. Since we want to play games. I'm telling you, this is what y'all did to the general yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to talk boxing. And then, you know, James Franklin with the Tank back shots, putting LDBC in his name. You know. Oh, let me take this one. Made it a roast session. Oh, I found it. There we go.
Y'all gonna learn to stop playing with me. That's real shit. Y'all wanna play? Y'all wanna play? Let's play. Let's play. Told y'all leave me alone, man. Let's get the number one tank whiner up here. Number one crying ass nigga up here. This nigga will take he will take poop and put it on your plate and say that's the protein with your pilaf rice and broccoli. You gotta eat that. I don't like to eat that. Nah, well, I think you should eat it. I think you should eat it. I think you should eat it because, you know, Tank said so. Let me read this super chat before I put the shit up. Dalton Smith said he's going to outlast my Tia stamina. He might. He might. This crying ass nigga up here. Now, James, go ahead and make another account and come back. Hoe ass nigga. I can't believe I'm in a place where I want to be left alone from niggas like that. Go to this nigga page and cry about it. This is the shit that got him set off in the first goddamn place. Nigga crying about Tank. And Tank called him soft and shit. This nigga was in his house with his hood on and snatched Tank picture off the wall, but he put it back though. Because then he tried, like I just said, he tried to put the protein on y'all and say, hey, nah, it's not shit, it's meatloaf. It's not a piece of doo-doo, it's meatloaf. Put some gravy on it, it's the same thing. That's what this whole ass nigga did. That's what he did. And then told you brothers fight. Did he say that? I didn't hear him say it. Did he say that? Did he say that? Interesting. I'm not telling anyone that I don't have no brothers that talk to me crazy, especially the niggas I never spoke to. Fuck out of here. You got one time to talk to me crazy, but these be y'all niggas. He was supposed to become a supervillain after this. But nope, family fights. Ain't that right? That's what I thought. Crying ass niggas. Where's that other one I have? Ah, yes. I gotta start renaming these shits, man. Cause I got so many things, they get lost in the shuffle. But my meme game is mean. I have a mean meme game. Cause you know, putting you monkeys on blast is child's play to me. Can't take a joke? All right, cool. I'm not joking then. It's fuck you in real life. You ain't gonna do nothing. You know I'll slap your jaw off. Fuck you mean? Fuck out of here, nigga. Since we talking, you see comfort in these apes, man. You see comfort in them. And this is why I need TKO to win. Magically, I'm pro Dana White now.
That's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it?
Go! Man crush.
Fuck out of here. Had to put the light-skinned ape up there. Fuck out of here, light-skin. Oh my God, man. How about a nice hot cup of shut the fuck up? Good Lord, Miguel Dirty Whores is 100 mad that Miguel Jerome and the Machine ran the train, clapping from the late night to the early morning, now stuttering. Oh my God.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Niggas in the back seat. Be in the back seat in the dark room. It'd be in a seat in the dark room. It'd be one love seat in the dark room. All you hear is, bend over, Baltimore. Like, what the fuck's going on in that room? All you hear is, is that eggs? Is that eggs? Can't hold these niggas to no high standards because they have no standards. Repeat, you can't hold these niggas to no high standards because they don't have any standards. They don't have any standards. They don't. Wake up and smell the failure. So in reference to the Muhammad Ali Act, y'all don't care about it, so I don't mind it leaving. But when it's a situation, I hope TKO takes over and runs shit. I said last year this bitch need to burn. And right now in real time, if you're a Boots Ennis fan, two things you should be concerned about. One of them y'all not, because you're just hoping for the best. You're hoping that Eddie Hearn does right by him, which he's not. But the other thing is you're wondering why the Ortiz fight ain't happening. Well, Oscar said on his Instagram, he's not making that fight because Ortiz has different plans. He said, imagine Errol Spence versus Ortiz in Dallas. What about for Sebastian Fundora? We don't need no Boots. I'm going to start putting people on blast for violating the Muhammad Ali Act. You tried to sue Al Heyman for violating the Muhammad Ali Act, and now you're working with him because you need to. And I'm glad my brother brought up that 7-fight deal with Tank. Well, what the fuck happened to it? What's better, Tank Davis 7-fight deal or Devin Haney's list? Because at least we know one of the motherfuckers was real. Y'all upset? I ain't lie to y'all not one fucking time. So salute the turkey out of shit. Salute the Dana White. Nothing's perfect, but y'all don't care. So if you don't care, if you like it, I love it. If Dana White ends up running this whole shit and your favorite fighter either has to shit or get off the pot and he chooses to get off the pot, he's a duck. Trash. Doo-doo. All this justification for nothing. If you're justifying Tank, you're a part of the problem. If you got hope in a fighter that's not doing anything to turn heads, you're part of the problem. You could hope and wish for Tank and Gary Russell and Anton Russell. You can hope and wish. You can say Subadel Matias is next up. You can hope and wish. All I'm saying is, great, show me. And if you can't show me, get out the way. Because I'm only fucking with fighters that are doing it. I'm only fucking with fighters that are in active pursuit of greatness. So salute to the GOAT, Muhammad Ali. But unfortunately, this new breed, with this new thought process, when I say, hey, why are these 4 fighters, why are they considered the 4 kings? And the person says, Prez says, they all fought each other, but so what? So what? They don't even realize that part of the problem. It's what they do. That is the problem. Eric Jordan says, hello, monkey, was crying about cyberbullying. Get the fuck out of here. James, you ain't gonna make no more, you ain't gonna get my views up, nigga?
Hello, monkeys.
Nothing, James? You ain't got another channel you gonna make? James, you got another channel? No. You'll make one tomorrow. You orangutan.
Yeah, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Better than that!
Yo, what the fuck is this kid posting? All right, this nigga done lost his mind, man. Someone just sent. What is Tank doing? All right, I ain't even gonna ask, man. All right, this. All right, okay, man. All right, I'm done, man. Eric Jordan back in that super chat. He says, "Thanks, Miguel and Jerome, and the machine for the entertainment." Exactly. What the fuck is that? He doing? Y'all know I'm a clown this dude. Aaron, what up, bro? Y'all know I'm a clown this dude. Tank just put out another video. I don't even know what the fuck was that. He was doing some shuffle in some sneakers. You wasn't moving your head like that when Lamar Roach was going upside your head. What the fuck was that? What did I just watch? Yo, look, listen. There's something wrong with that kid. And all of his followers, there's something wrong with y'all. There's something wrong with y'all. Evidence, just a little while ago. James Franklin, that must have been like a 7th page that I've blocked. I don't want to talk to that guy at all. But he needs to be caressed verbally. He needs acceptance because he has no friends. And like I said, whatever girl that was beating his ass in the car that day, I bet you she's light-skinned, she's short, and he's trying to convince her to get Baltimore tattooed on her back because when he's behind her, he's thinking of someone else. Oh, yeah, you are disgusting. He'd be back there like,
I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on you before.
you are disgusting.
What are you, a homo?
I'm out, man. Salute to everybody. Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Tank's a weirdo. Everyone that likes him and defends his moves are weirdos. Conventional boxing needs to go back to what it used to be because y'all don't respect the Muhammad Ali Act anyway. Y'all don't even know what it is, even if you Google it. So I want Dana White to come in here and crack that whip. Y'all made Jake Paul. Y'all made him all the way to the bank. Y'all made him. And now on a serious note, Dana White about to run this bitch. And y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all gonna cry. But Dana White says, oh, your favorite fighter, he has to fight the guy that you don't like, or get out the fucking way. Y'all gonna be screaming and crying about it. You can always go to YouTube and Shadowbox and you watch it. You know why? Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat. Get out of here, get my day started. Oh man, I had something come up. There's no show tomorrow. There's no show tomorrow, and it might not be a show on Monday. I got some things I gotta do. But salute to y'all. And I'll catch you on the rebound, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.